Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect, where we didn't have a lot of people escape over here, definitely not, and it was totally due to the subsidence of this wall here. We also managed to, yeah, we did. Might have been a lie, that one. We had a lot of people escape, which was, yes, so I'm going to say it, suboptimal. It was really suboptimal. However, I guess if nothing else, it's shown us the big flaw in this entire thing. So what I could do if I really wanted to is do some roll call at night, which I haven't done for quite some time. In fact, I've never done it in this prison. It just tends to make everybody kick off. Well, probably more searches are needed, but I thought, you know, only being about 4 or 5 days since the last one, it would have done it, but apparently not. Also, will the court be sponsored dogs? Yeah, I mean, there's always that outlier. Could I have missed it? Possibly. I was too busy over here. All of that sort of thing. But anyway, we also managed to get these finished off. So you can see the kitchen, the canteen, common room, and the workshop. Well, the workshop's not done, but it is all planned off. So this is where we're going to have, a CEO calling because they're going to be shouting at us now. Oh, okay, just stand on there and just get a bollock. And here we go. PR disaster brewing here. Far too many prisoners have escaped recently, and it's your fault. Yes, I know. Lock the place down and make sure nobody else escapes, otherwise the press will expect your head on a platter. So, for the next full day, we are not allowed to have any escapes. Shakedown. Right, so let's do this search. Now, I don't know whether or not this will help, because you don't necessarily find, well, you can't, there is chances you just don't find anything when you're searching these things, and we have searched it multiple times before. We have a dog patrol going up and down there. We have dog patrols going around here, but they didn't seem to smell it, so we'll see. It's the speed at which they tunnel as well. Dormitories are a nightmare security-wise, just because of how fast they search. So we'll see. In the morning, in just over 4 hours' time, we're going to get some more prisoners. And why was that tasering going there? What was that? Was that Ashby? Yeah, lockdown destruction. He was kicking off again. We found a couple of things on people there. We've got a lot of contraband. Look at that. That is a big raw contraband. We've got, in no particular order other than the exact order of left to right, 4 batons, 8 clubs, 3 shanks, 8 knives, 5 forks, 1 bottle of medicine, 4 pairs of scissors, 2 bottles of booze, 4 bottles of poison, 2 packs of cigarettes, 10 sets of jail keys, which is worrying, 3 cell phones, a lighter, 3 screwdrivers, 2 drugs, a pair of shears, 5 pairs of actually, 3 hammers, 5 drills, 5 shotguns, a dog leash, and 15 ropes. Where on earth have those shotguns come from? Because they haven't taken out that many guards. I'm guessing the guards have been knocked out and then they've taken it. That is a high possibility and indeed probable. Let's see where these shotguns are situated. I'm not seeing them. Forks, yeah. Clubs and such. Knives in the kitchen. And yeah, that's not surprising. In the last 7 days, would that be? It's showing it in the last 7 days, I think. Yeah, that's all it was. Right. In the last 24 hours, which is when we searched, we've actually not received... we've actually not had a lot of contraband, which is fine. You can see the supply for weapons, tools, narcotics, and luxuries has gone right down now that we did that shakedown, which is good. We're going to go over to informants here, and we can see that we've got a lot of people coming in. Most of them, the majority of those being low risk, the ones that we lost. And you can see we also have an ex-law enforcement. We've also got some traits here that we're not too sure what they are. I'm just going to try and find them. So that's Tim Mead. They're prisoner number 10856606, sentenced to 9 years for gross indecency. I guess they forgot to put their law enforcement uniform on. So we will change them to protective custody, so they will be escorted there, so we will get another person in here. And we are now on -7 for our daily cash flow, which means if we wanted to, we could decrease that bank loan by a couple, actually. I know it's not going to help us build anything, but at least we're going to start receiving some cash, which is good. Now, you can see people are now working in here, which is good. So the question is, do we expand this? I think the answer is a definite yes. If we've got people working in here, then by all means we are going to expand this something fierce, because that will give us a hell of a lot more money if we're producing license plates, not just from the production, but also because of the grant, and then we'll be able to get some other stuff as well. Excellent, excellent. So it's going to be more shakedowns, more better. That's the general rule here. We're going to check our programs, and we're going to see what we can start to pare down. So the general education qualification and the foundation education qualification, that is set. I'm going to stop the workshop safety, but then start it back up again just to make sure, like that, and that should hopefully be better. It is not. It's only going to. There's still only the same amount of people interested. Okay. We've got the foundation education, general education. That's fine. There's reason there's two of them is because obviously they are in the low and medium risk areas. Although medium risk is more medium-high these days. Pharmacological treatment, drug addiction is the same thing, same as alcoholics group therapy. Parole hearing, we got 4 of each, so that's fine. Spiritual guidance, same thing. So there's nothing really we can pare down. The only thing we could start up really is the guard taser certification or the behavioural therapy. The guard taser certification, only one person is in the queue, so that's not really necessary. And the reform, the prisoner stuff for the behavioural therapy, I don't think that's necessary either. The only other thing we can possibly do really is to give our staff a pay cut, and that would give us, how much would that give us? That would give us a fairly decent amount of money, although staff morale will be reduced. Let's do it for a couple of days and see what happens. Meal variety can also go down. I think variety can go down to low, whereas what if we put the meal quantity down to low? Let's put the quantity down to low, because we do feed them twice a day. We do have two food times a day, so maybe that will be sufficient. But we'll keep a close eye on the needs and the danger level here, and that's pretty much what we'll be doing here. In terms of the wall here, I could place a perimeter wall along there. That would help. However, would they instead simply tunnel further down and along and just take longer? Well, I mean, longer would be better here. It is an advantage, because it means that they would have to go further down and then across, or go to it and then work our way around, which increases the time it takes and also the chances of us detecting it. But anyway, the warning security disaster will get fired if we get any more escapes. That's on 0 of 3. We've only got 2 hours left, so because it's not going to be night time, I think we should be okay there. That should be good. We're going to receive some more prisoners in the morning. We do have this completely unsorted, so it looks like that was a ding-a-ling noise, and that would be legal prep. Okay. Yeah, so you can see in the mail room there is some stuff there. What I'm going to do is change that to protective custody, both of those like that, and we'll see if that can work. Here's a thing. What if I change that to that? Right. This is just a test, okay? And oh no, it doesn't matter. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. Library is. Oh, it doesn't say you need to have the qualification in there. I'm just going to assign the jobs. That's a lot of jobs to that workshop. We'll never do that because we've only got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 cells, and we can have 31 in there apparently. 31 jobs. Right, so that's fine. What I'm going to do now is check staff. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. And I think that's fine. Just trying to save some money, you see. So that's okay. So the mail stuff is not getting sorted. It's not actually getting brought in anymore. But I've assigned some. You can see the deployment there. That's protective custody only. And I've assigned these jobs here. So let's see if they actually start working there tomorrow. It is sleep time. Another shakedown. I'm going to keep doing shakedowns here. See how far they get, because to be honest with you, we only had the last shakedown less than 24 hours ago, so they've probably tunneled halfway to Australia by now. So after that, well, we're still receiving some more people. We also haven't had any ultra violence up and around here, which is not something I would have thought we'd have it by now. Just checking the informants here. You see there's a lot of gang members. In fact, how many gang members do we have? We have 13 red gang members, which is interesting. That's been reduced quite some. 2 green gang members now, which I must have missed. And 1 blue gang member. The blue and green gang members, blue and green gangs rather, don't have anyone in charge. So they don't have like this leader, nor second in charge, / lieutenant, / sergeant, / insert whatever you want to call them here. And obviously there's no gangs around this area either. They control this area. They do control here. But they don't control the yard. I don't particularly mind. Because there are jobs in here. There's laundry and there's cleaning cupboard. And there's the shop. And people work in all those 3. If we go to the working here, you can see that is functioning. So there we are. So it's currently eat time. They're all going to head here and get food. Now this is where we have to keep checking to make sure that they are fed. So we'll go over to needs, and you can see there is a medium need for food, and it was over the 120 mark, but now it's getting smashed right down. There's some a tiny critical need for food there, probably 1 or 2 prisoners, or 1 prisoner is furious that they can't eat. That's probably someone stuck in there, and there it's probably them. It's probably them. And we can't... escape attempt and found drugs. Right, okay. So what we'll do is we'll stop that shakedown there and... Ashby again. Almost certainly Ashby. Recent misconduct. I don't know how recent that means, though. Well, let's see what happens here. A lot of them putting their hand up. He didn't put his hand up high enough. The guard's coming over. Oh, they've stopped. And there we go. Right. So danger level is going to fly up because gang members are furious that leader's been punished. Well, they did, for whatever reason, punch a serving table. What? What? Just imagine coming over. What? This is not... I can't believe this. There's no porridge. Ah! It just goes on a complete rage. Okay, so concrete. We're going to put the concrete in here because I think we should have done it a while ago. There's also some kicking off around here, and that door isn't connected. Is it that it's not connected? It is connected, it's just the door's got that weird delay on it. We might have to put in some more... What are they shouting around? Shouting about clothing. Is... clothing not getting distributed? That's a problem. Why is that not happening? Or is it this? Is that the problem? They're working in there, though. That does function, as you can see. But why is clothing need smashed right up? So they're in there. That's fine. Laundry machine, there's 4 in there. That's all connected up. So I don't know why that is... the case in here. Hang on. It looks like they're getting delivered now. But was there a problem with this? It could have been that. It could have been. It's a high probability it was that. I don't think this library here is going to work out. The mill does get sorted. It does seem to work out that. But this, not so much. We could... I could mess around with it, but quite frankly, not everybody needs it, and... yeah, I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. We're still going to deliver mail. And you can see, they're shouting about laundry, but there's the laundry there, look. There's the prisoner uniforms. It is ready to be delivered. What are they missing then? Is it that they don't have the laundry baskets? Well, the laundry baskets are there, and the laundry is actually getting delivered now. So I think that was a weird quirk. Probably something to do with that. Probably something to do with that. And as you can see, there's loads of other stuff getting brought in now. So I'm really not too sure what that was about. But these are shouting for He's probably going to be shouting about it as well now. Anyway, so we're going to receive some more prisoners in the morn. There is another option apart from expanding it up here, and that's building this building. Now, this building was originally going to be death row, and it still can be death row. In fact, if we go over to intake, oh, no, it can't be. We don't have death row unlocked. The problem with death row is that to unlock it requires you having a fairly decent amount of max sec prisoners. And I don't think we'll ever get that. Well, I know we won't get that because we haven't got a max sec area. So the question is, what can we have? Well, do we need to change it? Do we need to do this first? No, I don't think we do. I honestly think the solution is just to expand Up North there. Do I want to put in some sniper towers either? Sniper towers on the corners wouldn't really help out, especially with that escape. There's another death, and that is that another overdose? It's another overdose because the infirmary people are... Oh, there's two there, so where are the other two? Where are the staff? And we want to see one, so we'll zoom right in. 1, 2, 3. Oh, we must have had one. Oh no, 4 resting. Okay, that's the problem, I guess. That both went on break at the exact same time. What is our overall grading? 18%, it has increased. However, punishment is now down even further. Reform is very low. Security is low. And health is absolutely abysmal. We've had 6 staff fatalities, 27 deaths in custody, and 33 prisoners escape. We've paroled 71 early, which is a decent amount. The question is, do we want to keep decreasing our bank loan? And that will keep reducing our daily cash flow. It is an option. Well, yeah, increasing the cash flow, keep paying the loan off. Can we sell some shares? We cannot because we don't have no recent deaths. If we sell some shares, we might be alright now because as you can see, the escapes in the past 24 hours has been 0. That was giving us the big hit previously. In terms of the needs, you can see there is an extreme hygiene need, but that's going to be fulfilled very shortly. There is a medium and a little bit of high food need. So I think leaving it down as low was it's actually okay. I think that's fine. I don't think there's any other cost-saving measures we can really introduce. There is another option as well that there's another route we could go down. We could, if we wanted to, we could overdo this because currently we're on fill capacity. We could change it so instead that they fill up even higher and we get some in the holding cell. I'm not convinced that's a good idea though, so I think probably we won't bother with that one. So I think it's just a case of expanding up there, isn't it? Expanding up there and then planning it off. I think so. The question is, can we do it with the maximum amount of money that we get? I think we can. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to informants, and we can see we've got tough and gang member coming in. Gang member being of the favourite colour red, so that's fine. We don't have anyone else that I think is a problem. Oh, there's ex-law enforcement. They keep sneaking in. It is a possibility that they were a questionable one. So, protective custody. So they got the question ones. It can be the case that they are... they can be one of the unknown traits. What I'm going to do is check our informants. And sadly we don't have anyone really in here to tell us about things. That's a shame. So it looks like the foreman is teaching only 2 people, I thought there was more earlier. Attendance 100%. Success chance is going up and up and up and up and up. So hopefully that will be quite good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the bank loan to that, and I'm going to spend a lot of money and pause it immediately because it's kicking off here again. Do you want to stop? Do you want to stop? Do you want to stop? No, he didn't. There we go. Right, so we now have all of this, which you might think, well, that's why you're doing that. Well, we need to plan it, which I'm going to do now, and also we can sell all of the trees, which is good. So, objects dismantle, and we'll dismantle all of the trees. And I think that's the technical term which foresters use as well. We're just going to dismantle this tree, and then we're going to reprocess the harvest into toothpicks. Yes. Right, so we need to make sure that we have the same sort of layout as this thing. So we'll max speed out while the workers crack on over there. We will see from this, it is a total of 121 by, is that 32? I think it is 32. So 121 by 32. So it is a gap of 3. So 1, 2, 3, and it is, well, there, and then I think that's 32. So that's going to be our high risk. Is that correct? Let's just check again. So it is 32 and 32. And we know it's the same because it's copied there. So the perimeter wall will run along here, like so. So 1, 2. Like that, and then down to there. And obviously it's going to expand like so. I think it's kicking off even further. Down there. Is that right? No. I was going to say that's not right. One of them is, and that bit isn't. Because it's only a gap of 4. Yes, 4. So 4 and along to there. So we'll expand that all the way along. And then that goes down to there. And then we've got this big space up the top, which we don't actually have any purpose for. We could expand this, but that was not the original idea. The original idea was to copy these and have clones of it. So that's what we'll do. This could become something else, and we have above this one, we could have our Supermax, and we could actually, yes, have a Supermax. And the other one up here, let's Supermax and Death Row. Let's see what size that would be. This is just out of interest. I'm not necessarily going to do this, and actually there's a high chance that I won't do this. But let's just see what it would be. That's it. That's 4. That's correct. Even when we long bombed it from this distance out. And 1, 2. I believe it's 3. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it wouldn't be a terrible size. Would it? Really? OD outer diameter 22 by 221, was it? Something like that. 221. That's the OD. So, do we want to do that? I'm not totally opposed to it, quite frankly. If nothing else, the fence is getting put in. It's strange we're making money, and I don't know how we're doing that. Obviously, we've had a bit of a kick-off round here. I'm going to focus on repairing that. I'm also going to do another shakedown because that's just the rules now. Be interesting if you could have a system in place at some point where you could schedule shakedowns and such. Another gang member gone. They were trying to take over the thing. Oh, we've got shop sales commission. Excellent. We're going to get... oh, sorry. I've just figured out why that daily cash flow is so high. That's because we're selling a hell of a lot of trees. A lot of tree carcass. So... That's why. So, another shakedown. Let's get this on the go. Take a while, but we'll get there. We'll check our informants, and we have a potential CI. We have 2 potential CIs. So we'll recruit those, get them out straight away. There's the tunnel! Yeah, it wasn't. Not very far, though. They're getting further than I would have thought. They're getting quite far. Yeah. They got further than the first time. But there we are. The tunnel didn't, though, which is the main thing. The tunnel didn't get very far at all. We'll prioritise the removal of that. Apparently we've got 33 prisoners up for parole, so even though we're running 8 paroles, we're not able to get through them in time. Let's just double check our programs here, and we can see parole is in medium and min sec. Yeah. I don't think we can add any more paroles. I think that's the max we can do, because they're 4 hours each, I think. Paroles. Yeah. Starts 6, 7, finishes at 10. So, informants, another potential CI. Oh, Chris the Bush. Again, and he's already been removed, I think. Confidential informant already, so I can't get that. There we are. Still going to finish this shakedown. I still think it's important that we do that. So we're working on this fence that goes all the way around, which has been ordered. Just the external one. The internal one, not so much. They've removed all of this, so I will now put the concrete floor back in. There's a lot of people requiring solitary from here. And again, that's another problem, another quirk of the dormitories. Overall, I'm of the opinion that dormitories can be worth it, but are very, very dangerous if you get it wrong. These are not exactly getting it wrong, but I would certainly want to put them closer to the centre. It means when one bit goes wrong, it all goes wrong, because pretty much everybody in the dormitory follows the same sort of pattern. So this person might choose to escape, but his next door neighbour might be totally happy and content and would not want to do that. Similarly, they might want to boot off for various reasons. The person doesn't want to. In here, when they want to escape, they tend to all escape, and same as for the violence as well. But anyway, so these are getting removed quite happily. All of these trees, they are building up here. Not as quick as I'd like, but that's obviously mainly because of the lack of workers. I did get rid of some, just to try and pare this down. Anyway, I have received some more prisoners. We have received some more prisoners, but I wasn't there to check it. So let me just check the... there's a snitch. Good job we checked that. Jan Comrie. So Dan Comrie, prison number 112-64231. Snitch. So you can now be a protective custody prisoner. I will check around here. Unknown traits, and they've all got the shirts off there, you see. And at least now, though, we're getting laundry. That was a very interesting one. There's mail getting sorted there, look. You can see that is getting sorted now. And what I'll do is I'll change that deployment to, say, medium sec, and we'll see if that gets sorted. See, I still would have thought if it was staff only, it gets sorted and then they would distribute it. But no, apparently not. I'm going to keep it staff only and see if it gets distributed. So the fence is happily getting built. We're down at, we've got 26 grand now. Let's go to bank loan and we'll decrease that now. So buying this land and planning off and selling these trees has actually been a good idea. Instead of waiting with the drip and drabs that we get from there, it's best to get this, sell all those trees, and then really decrease this bank loan so we're receiving a lot more money and it's more sustainable to build these 2 buildings. I think having that as the supermax in protective custody would work. Obviously, it's going to have to be a complete redesign from this, but it means that this can become something else. I'm still not ruling that out. We could have this as Supermax, and then this is Death Row. We could do that. I haven't yet decided. To be honest with you, it doesn't really matter in this case. I'm actually going to focus on getting that fence done because I think it's important that we do that. Yes, it's a case of what do we need to focus on first? If we start that flooring because it's bugging me. What do we need to focus on first? Well, we have to get the higher risk one done. That's just obvious. And then we'll get the... Well, after that, it's probably Death Row or Supermax. Or we could have high risk and then a gang area. This one. But what would we do for the gang one? Well, we'd probably give them just all the bare essentials. So we'd have cells that are probably slightly bigger than these. Maybe. Or maybe we'd have it the same size. Maybe we just have all the same... Yeah, we'll probably use the same size cells. We would have a much bigger solitary with more amenities in it. So a chair, a toilet, can be the same thing depending on where you stand. And, ooh, there we go. Again, Ashby got hit but not taken out. If he gets taken out, it's sort of... The problem sort of solves itself, really. I mean, there's still a second in command, so I think they can still give orders, but it means no more recruitment can be undertaken. I don't think you can recruit without a leader. There's an OD. They're going to get taken, and there is people in the infirmary now. Both are a little tired, but they have been sorted out. Although they get stuck. It's when it's on max speed, you know. Because I keep running it on max speed, I don't think sometimes it works things out properly. Anyway, don't need to do another shakedown tonight. That's been prioritised, and you can see that's getting removed there, and then that's been fixed there. So I think we'll leave it there. Not a massive amount of building, but at least we've slowed the pace a little bit and sort of recouped and figured out exactly what we want to do. Can we have this guy as a CI? We can't. Yeah, I think... Expanding the land's way forward. Well, what was the way forward, certainly. We now receive, well, it says 6 grand, but we're receiving nowhere near that. That's just because of the trees that we're processing. Next episode, we want to finish off certainly the wall. Although I might go ahead and finish that wall off before next episode and get the other one done as well. And then we'll start focusing on this, which is going to be our high-risk one. So far, sort of so good. Statistically not. Reoffending rate is at 18%. That's not great at all. Punishment is 4%. Reform, is 4 out of 10, so 40%. Reform 3 out of 10. Security is 0, which is middle ground. So we're not over secure. Not, we're not Fort Knox / Alcatraz, but we're also not just an open prison where you can go out and get yourself a quick burger from the. Yeah, from the local fast food joint. And health is really low. So, yeah. That's bad. It's mainly due to, I'm guessing, all of the violence. I'm guessing. Next episode, as I said, finish this off. I might do even before that. And then we'll think about getting this built. And we'll have to think about what changes we're going to make in the centre. Because we've got dormitories here. We're not going to have dormitories in this one. Certainly not. But we're probably going to have, I think... This, but in the centre here, we'll have more solitary cells, so we'll have a similar thing to that. We'll have more solitary along here. Or we could make this one big dormitory and have that solitary as well. But I think we need more solitary. But we'll see. That's a futurist problem. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.